What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel. You're going to want to stick around for this one because we're talking about one of the biggest pieces of news to hit the NFL in a while, and yes, it involves the Dallas Cowboys. This isn't just your average offseason rumor, we're talking about a potential blockbuster trade that could completely reshape the Cowboys' offensive game plan for the next few seasons. We've all heard the whispers, and now they're getting louder. The one and only Davante Adams, arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL, could be leaving the Green Bay Packers and joining the Cowboys in a move that would rock the league to its core. But is this a real possibility? How could this trade impact the Cowboys' future? Let's break it all down and look at the details, because this is the kind of move that could make the Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl contenders again, and I'm here to tell you why. Now, for those of you who aren't entirely up to speed on Davante Adams, let me give you a quick refresher. Adams has been absolutely dominant ever since entering the NFL. We're talking about a guy who's consistently ranked among the top wide receivers year in and year out, and who's known for his insane ability to beat any defensive back one-on-one. He's one of the most technically gifted wide receivers the league has ever seen. His route running? Unmatched. His ability to make tough, contested catches? Elite. And of course, he's been a vital part of the Packers' offense for years, developing an undeniable connection with Aaron Rodgers. That connection has led to some seriously impressive numbers: over 1,300 receiving yards in multiple seasons, double-digit touchdowns, and the ability to perform in clutch moments. To put it simply, Davante Adams has been the guy for Green Bay, the wide receiver that could do it all, from making jaw-dropping catches to being a red zone weapon. So why would he leave all that behind? Well, that's where the Packers' situation gets interesting. Green Bay has been under some financial strain lately, with their salary cap issues and the looming questions surrounding Aaron Rodgers' future. There's been chatter for months now about the Packers potentially needing to part ways with some of their star players in order to make room for other roster moves and keep their financial flexibility intact. And if there's one player who could be on the move to create that cap space, it's Adams. While Green Bay has made it clear they don't want to lose Adams, the NFL is a business, and sometimes these star players have to go, especially when the team is looking to rebuild or reallocate resources. So, with that in mind, why are the Cowboys in the conversation here? The Dallas Cowboys have been one of the most talked about teams in the NFL, and for good reason. We've seen them come close to making a serious Super Bowl run in the past few seasons, but something's been missing. Despite having a solid roster with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and a dominant defense led by the likes of Micah Parsons, they've still lacked that true WR1 who can consistently take over games and take the offense to another level. And that's where Adams comes in. The Cowboys have been linked to several wide receivers in recent years, but none of those players have been able to offer the same game-changing ability that a healthy, prime Davante Adams brings to the table. And if we're talking about Super Bowl aspirations, Jerry Jones and the front office know that this is the type of trade that could push the Cowboys over the top. But here's the big question: is this even a possibility, or is it just some offseason speculation? Well, let's look at the facts. The Packers are currently in a bit of a bind financially. They've been going through salary cap hell, and the need to offload some expensive contracts could be the driving force behind a potential trade of Adams. Now, we've seen Jerry Jones and the Cowboys make aggressive moves before, particularly when it comes to getting that one big player to elevate the team. Remember, Jerry went all in for Amari Cooper in 2018 when the team needed a big-time receiver. It worked then, and now, with the Cowboys looking for a similar weapon to pair with CeeDee Lamb, Adams could be the perfect fit. However, it's not as simple as just picking up the phone and calling Green Bay. If the Cowboys want to land a player like Davante Adams, the trade would likely be substantial. The Packers won't let Adams go for pennies on the dollar. They'd want a solid return, and that could mean multiple high draft picks and potentially even a player or two from the Cowboys roster. The Cowboys would have to be strategic here. They have enough cap space to make it happen if they're willing to restructure a few contracts or even trade away some players to make room for Adams' inevitable massive contract extension. Remember, Adams is going to want a new deal that matches his value as one of the top receivers in the NFL. That's going to cost Dallas a pretty penny, but again, Jerry Jones isn't afraid to open up the checkbook when it comes to landing a superstar. The financials here would be tricky, but it's certainly not out of the question. And here's the thing, adding Adams could completely change the way this Cowboys team plays. If Adams ends up on this roster, the Cowboys offense would immediately become one of the most dynamic units in the NFL. You have Dak Prescott, one of the league's top quarterbacks, with two elite wide receivers in Adams and CeeDee Lamb, and let's not forget Tony Pollard, who could thrive in a system where defenses are forced to choose between stopping the run or dealing with a high-powered passing game. Suddenly, the Cowboys would have a lineup that's not just competitive within their division but could make waves in the entire NFC. The NFC East has been competitive, but adding a talent like Adams would give Dallas a serious edge over teams like the Eagles and Giants, who have been rising in recent seasons. With the 49ers and other NFC contenders also looking strong, adding a game-breaking receiver like Adams would help Dallas keep pace with the league's elite. But, of course, there's always the possibility that another team swoops in and snatches Adams away before the Cowboys have a chance. If Green Bay is open to trading him, expect the phone lines to be buzzing with calls from a bunch of teams, and some of them might be more desperate than the Cowboys, willing to throw in even more assets to secure the deal. The Chicago Bears, the Las Vegas Raiders, and even some teams in the AFC like the Miami Dolphins could be in play for Adams' services. But if the Cowboys can play their cards right, they could end up in the driver's seat for this trade, especially if they are willing to offer up an attractive package of draft picks and young talent. As for what happens next, we'll be watching this situation closely. Trade talks could heat up at any moment, especially with the NFL Combine coming up and the official start of the new league year not far behind. If the Cowboys want to get this done, they may have to act fast and secure a deal before other suitors get too serious. As always, we'll be here to keep you updated with all the latest news and breaking information, so make sure you're subscribed and have those notifications turned on. So, what do you think? Should the Cowboys go all in for Davante Adams, or should they look to other avenues to improve their offense? Do you believe this trade is even possible, or is it all just off-season chatter? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. I want to hear from all of you. And if you're as excited about the possibility of adding Adams to the Cowboys roster as I am, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends who need to get in on the hype. As always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time with more Dallas Cowboys news and analysis. Peace.